Well, welcome to the show, Dan. I understand you are born and bred in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, and you've been writing songs for quite a while now. You actually spent some time overseas, but you're back in New Zealand. So let's talk about the songwriting process. How do you engage with all of this? Like, how do you get inspired to write music? And I guess, what role does your faith play in your songwriting?
Fantastic. Awesome question. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here today for New Zealand Music Month. So, it's a pleasure. And in terms of the songwriting and my faith, I grew up in church. My dad is a pastor of a church south of Auckland. So I was born in Auckland. And as soon as I was old enough to probably hold drumsticks, it's almost an obligatory thing. I think if you're the pastor's kid, you're in the band. So that was the beginning. Yeah.
Certainly true for the church I attend anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm stoked to have that opportunity. It was amazing. I think there's a lot of musicians that have their background in church, to be honest, or even continue to do so. So it's been a pivotal part of my life, church music, worship music, and that relationship with God. I think what's amazing is God, is a creator. He created this world, which is a pretty beautiful world, and so to be inspired by that, and to try to create through the art of music is a cool thing. And so, with the songwriting, different things can inspire me. I love starting with, an acoustic singer-songwriter, so I'll create melodies on my guitar and then find vocal melodies and eventually start thinking about what message I want to say in the song.
Well, it's interesting because I guess when you start this journey into music, you begin to experience playing with others what music is, but then to move into this, well, as you say, this craft of songwriting and putting it together. Is it the same, all the time? You just end up finding yourself playing different melodies and things come along. I mean, personally, what are some of those keys to actually put a song out, to bring it to completion, something that can be played?
Yeah, it's quite the process. I think we can all be inspired to be creative in certain ways. When it comes to a song, it could be jamming out. Like for me, the background was often just literally jamming on guitar and freestyling and just kind of seeing what felt good or what I wanted to express. And then actually crafting an entire song is something else where that inspiration might end up falling short after you've come up with one cool melody. And then it's about trying to be, I suppose, a bit patient with it and really trying to figure out how to do the entire structure of it when it comes to lyrics and melodies, and that's a bit of a process. And there are times when it's not easy and you can kind of get writer's block, but it's a beautiful thing to get to that point where it's a finished song as well.
Yeah, I can imagine there's a lot to it because, for example, if you're jamming out this cool little hook and you've got like the bones of like a chorus, but then it's like, well, how do you fit that together with a verse and like a pre-chorus and a bridge and an instrumental? Like there's all these elements that have to come together, and they have to come together cohesively as well. And then there's the other approach where you might be really inspired and you might hear a verse or write down like some lyrics together, a beautiful poem, but then how do you put that to music? So I can imagine that there is a real process. So let's talk about this particular track that you've written, that you've recently released, As We Are. So tell us about the song. What inspired this particular track?
So this song is from my first EP, which has just come out, and the song is called As We Are. And it's inspired by the concept of by grace. It's in particular for me personally, the grace of Jesus, and how we need to come as we are to him, as opposed to trying to fix ourselves and then presenting ourselves to him, because he's the one that can actually help us if we just present ourselves as we are. And I think that's also something that can be a beautiful approach to life when it comes to relationships and friendships, is trying to be willing to be vulnerable, and that can empower others and help others realize that. For me personally, as a songwriter, for example, I can sometimes feel a bit isolated or anxious, and then opening up about that, I realize, oh wow, so many other creatives out there are feeling the same thing, and that can actually help you feel closer, which is special. So
Your EP, you said it's out now, so people can find this online and check in.
That's correct. Yeah, the EP is called Genuine. So if you wherever you listen to music, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music, if you search up Dan Millward, you'll be able to find that. And hope you enjoy it. Thank you for playing it today.
What if we just speak our mind and the truth? We don't need to be confined and abused. Right now we just talk with the light still in view. So carry on.